Hi friends! If you want to check out 4 looks using Mama Pat's Sublime Mothership II eyeshadow palette, then please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you're returning, well, thanks for coming again, friend. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, you can head over to my Instagram. Quick update on the Mented Cosmetics foundation stick I had mentioned in that video, and I'm sorry if there were several videos that came on before this that didn't mention this update, that I think my foundation shade for their stick is L10. I bought L30 thinking from their shade description and the model that they had that L30 will work, and it does. It looks very warm and I could get away with it, but L10 is my true shade, and I use actually L30 to bronze up the hollows of my cheekbones. Went over it with Pat's Pressed Powder in Deep and some of Fenty Beauty's Island Ting, and then I put on Clay Too Much. So although I feel L10 is very light, it is actually my shade, and if anything, if I do get the L10 stick, I can mix L10 and L30 together, and then maybe tomorrow I'll put on L20 to see how that looks. But yeah, unfortunately, because I haven't been tanning, I don't use self tanner, my skin tone definitely kind of wallowed down to what it actually is. I much prefer to be bronzer in hue, but listen, the sun protection is more important than what I want, okay? Diving into Sublime Mothership II, welcome to my Pat McGrath Remastered series where I dive back into her Mothership palettes and do new looks with them. I actually have a whole playlist. It's my Pat McGrath 3-look playlist where I went back to all of her palettes at the time, those that were available, and did 3 looks because I was inspired by the fact that we buy these expensive palettes and we do not use them. They hang out in our drawers and then we feel intimidated by them, but we bought them, right? So we have to take advantage of what we have available, and hopefully these videos can provide you with some inspo, maybe different techniques, a different perspective, and how to use your palettes confidently and get something out of them. I will have all my complexion products in addition to obviously the Mented Cosmetics that I just went on a spiel on down below in the description box. And with all that said, friends, why don't you come in a little closer? Ooh, we gotta fix these eyebrows. Going in with MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And this will be my primer of choice for all the looks. What should we go in with first? How about some Skin Show Glow off the bat with my Esum W21. Just placing that on the inner corner. Is that brush dirty? My oh my. A great way to start with these palettes is that you could always go in with the lightest shade, highlight your brow bone, highlight the inner corner, put on some mascara and be done. That's one way you could approach this. Let's go in with Iconic. Gonna zhuzh that through my Wayne Goss number 16. If it's your first time using these shadows or your first time encountering shadows like these on a YouTube video, Pat McGrath Metallics, well, I think I would consider this a satin shade. They're very blendable and have a skin-like finish, and I feel are very easy to apply. I usually like to pull my shadow out a little bit like so, feather the edges so they could appear blurred, and you can take this all over the lid, throughout the crease, and be done. Lower lash line, add a dark brown liner, mascara, lashes, and that could be your one shade look. Taking my finger with Iconic, but now on the lid, I actually want to do, hold the phone. Definitely want to go in with a VR Nectar. Now, these are her topper shades that could be quite tricky. So what I like to do is take some on my finger. I do about 2 taps. Press onto your lid first, so you can get the actual pigment on your skin, and it just has like a beautiful scatter effect that is hard to see now on camera. It's cloudy out. Cloudiness is probably one of the worst conditions to see dazzle sparkle in, but we'll do the flashlight, it's okay. I just want to fix that. I'm going to smooth that out. Tuckahoe Jade 242 with dark, and simply pulling this shadow along my top lash line. If you want to go in with an actual crayon, eye pencil first to sketch out your line before you go in with the shadow. That's totally up to you. I'm whipping it lightly here so as to keep control over this placement so it doesn't get away from me, because sometimes I find the wings, especially the shadow wings, get big very fast. But I think that's good. I think we can stick with that. Pulling it more on the inner part of the lash line here. And I think this is a great way to incorporate dark because it is very pigmented, and if you don't feel comfortable using it as like a smoky moment on the outer corner, you can definitely most use it as a wing liner. Looking good so far. Rose Dusk, which exists in Divine Rose, but this was the first palette that it premiered in. And I'm taking that with my Isom W23 just to use a different color. You can certainly most go in with Iconic again. Pulling it alongside dark, tapping dark now on the lower outer portion of the lash line. And I'll bring these two together actually. Oh, it's getting out of control just as I expected. I think we're good though. We're gonna make it. This is an old Tuckahoe and Beautylish collab holiday eyeshadow brush that's a little fluffier. Just need that rose dusk shade to appear a little more hazy. Now with Bronze 005 with my Refer P21 brush and stamping that on the inner part of the eye. Gonna give us a little shine, a little glitz moment with VR Nectar on top here. And why not? I'm gonna put on more of that VR shade on the inner part of the eye. All right, next, copper toned on the inner part of the lid first. This shade by itself is so beautiful. Rose Dusk with my Isom G34. Same texture as Iconic and copper tone, so easily can be used on the lid or can be swept through the crease. And I think that's such a beautiful combination. Hakuhoro B142 with the dark matte shade. Tapping that from lash line to outer V so as to add more contrast, more depth, and I'm sweeping that through on Rose Dusk and in through the crease. And I think tapping is a great way to start. Get the pigment on there first, and then you can start to swirl and twirl. No additional product with my Isom G34, whisking the edges, making sure everything looks blurred, especially here near the brow. Continuing to add a little more dark copper tone Masonogy soft shader, more so on the center of the lower lash line. Rose Dusk on the outer, tapping on the dark matte right on Rose Dusk. I know we did the same thing here, but this is a little more smoky. VR Nectar again, this time with my Refer number 3, and I will leave the link to their concept store down below. You want to get this 50% off. Not too bad. I just tap it right here on the inner part of the eye. Kick off some fallout. Now Astral Ghost Orchid on the inner part of the lid. Just tap that on. And then Skin Show Glow on the inner part of the eye, which is like a more pinkier tone out of all the Skin Show new glows. All right, let's slap on some lashes and I'll be right back. On the lashes, I have Ardell Wispies in the style 700, and here is a close-up of the lids. The camera can't go any darker because of the natural light, but you can see Astral Ghost Orchid on this eye, and then you can see VR Nectar so much better on top of Iconic for this eye. It's so hard to see in the cloudy light, but in person it looks so pretty. And here it's just going back and forth between the two looks. And even here, see how beautiful VR Nectar looks under the lash line. And so does Bronze 005. Look at that shine. It's so pretty. On the lips, I have the Mel Thompson and Christian Aldet collab lip liner in Smooches, topped with Mented Cosmetics Dope Taupe in their matte finish with Mama Pat's lip gloss in For Real. I love how we stuck with the more neutral tones in this palette, and that's probably why when this palette first released, it was the first to sell out, because even with the inclusion of Blitz Emerald, which we'll get into the next two looks. There were a lot more neutrals you can dive into and still use the special shades with that I feel can still be very daily friendly. And with that said, you see how we could use dark as outer corner smoke, or just like a smoky wing, or maybe you want to be more conservative with that application and keep it very much on the very ends of top and lower lash line and just create like those dark brackets of colors here to add some smoke. But I wanted to show you both ways you can use the dark shade. You can even go in with maybe a brown eye pencil all over the lid and then go on with dark all over the lid to create something very smoky, and then of course go in with extreme black. I mean, there's so many basic neutral looks you can do with Sublime, but we're gonna go into Blitz Emerald and just show you different ways you can incorporate that shade into your looks. See you in a bit. What are we gonna do with Blitz Emerald, friends? It's an intimidating shade, but I wanted to go over different ways we can incorporate it into the look and it not necessarily be the standout lit shade. We're talking about this baby right here. How about we just start with it on the inner corner of the eye? Some W21, tapping Blitz Emerald here on the inner part of the eye. I actually don't know what I'm gonna do with this look, but I wanna start here. Let's start here. I'm using the tip of the brush to just gently carve out here on the inner part of the eye. Hello, can you stay in frame, please? Using my Refer P21 brush with the same shade just to clean up here in the inner part of the eye. Bronze 005. On the majority of the lid, I'm gonna press first. I know better. Press and tap. Maybe I should have put... We're gonna start over again. Bronze 005 on the inner corner. Press and then tap to disperse. You always want to tap first to get the pigment on, and then it'll be less likely to produce immense amounts of fallout. Excuse me, hello, you're gonna focus on me. I'm gonna place it more on the center of the lid as well. Do I want to put Rose Dusk on the outer corner? Rose Dusk, Sonia G. Worker 1. Tapping down the outer part of the lid. Clean Wayne Goss number 6 to whisk Rose Dusk around and around. Actually, I'll take a little more so we could further blur these edges. That's pretty. Astral Ghost Orchid tapping on the border. Isn't that such a beautiful shift of pink from the Rose Dusk shade to Bronze 005? So good. But now I'm going to throw you a curveball, okay? Now my Refer number 3 with finally Blitz Emerald on the lower inner part of my lash line. This could be a total and utter disaster, but I'm going for it because this is, you know, this could be something nice. Iconic with my Isam W23, zhuzhing both Blitz Emerald up to the top lash line. Now VR Nectar with my Refer 03 on the inner corner. You know, it's like a watermelon moment. We love watermelon. Pink and green, hello. I'm just tapping that along the inner part of the eye, whisking away some fallout. Just patting down around here, cleaning up. Now we're going in hard on this eye, okay? Blitz Emerald just all over. We're gonna do it all over, hello. I'm actually, you know what? Let's create a bracket. So I'll place Blitz Emerald first on the center of my lid, taking dark with my Isam W23, tapping that on the inner part of the lid as well as outer, being very careful here because I don't want it to get too out of control just yet. Dark with my Isam S33, connecting those brackets, pulling it through the crease. And you see, because we're going in near the Blitz shade, we most certainly have to reapply it, and that's fine. Just tapping here, getting in more of that matte shade and pulling it through. Taking Copper Tone, this is my Wayne Goss number 3 brush from his first anniversary set, and I'm using this shade to gently buff out dark, because although it's a satin, or whatever she considers this texture to be, you could use it to buff out this matte that could be very deep. You see how it packs a lot of punch. You can use the other satin shades just to soften up the edges if you like. And then going in with more of the Blitz shade on the center here, so it could look more diffuse and cohesive. Taking a little more of the dark, just pulling it out slightly. You can go in with extreme black, which is the one black matte in here, darken out the outer corners, use it to go across the lash line. Why not? Let's do that. Taking my Refer number 1 brush with extreme black, just tapping that along the lash line just to get a little more depth and intensity here, and just floating the number 3 here along the edges to clean up. Now what can we do on this lower lash line? That's what I want to know. You know what? I'm going to keep it very clean, going in with dark on the outer edge here. So McGrath Pencil Pro with the Blitz shade on the center of the lower lash line. Pressing and tapping carefully. Dark again with the inner corner, being very careful here because it packs a lot of punch. And just simple old skin glow. No, hold on. Skin show glow. The inner corner with my Pencil Pro. Alright, that is the finished look, friends. Let's slap on some lashes and I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of both eyes, and on the lashes again I have Ardell Wispies in the style 3 No. Thinking about the movie in the style 700. And here is a Dazzle Party. You can see the effects of Blitz Emerald so much better with the light. And here you can see Astral Ghost Orchid between Rose Dusk and Bronze 005 just shining through. I actually applied Astral Ghost Orchid on the inner corner on top of Skin Show Glow, and you can see the lower lash line. We got Blitz Emerald over here, and it's just party, friends, on these lids. And on the lips I have Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat and Iconic Nude with Goat Cheese satin finished lipstick in Penny Beige, topped with Mented Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Pink. Hold on, Pink About Me. Hopefully these two looks helped incorporate Blitz Emerald more in for you. You see here, this is like full-on smoke showstopper eye. Majority of the lid has Blitz Emerald on it, but we have the brackets of the dark matte, so it really smokes it up fast. But if you want it to be a little more low-key, I feel you could get away with Blitz Emerald on the lower inner half of your lash line, even paired with the more neutral shades like Bronze 005 and Rose Dusk. I think the pink Astral and VR shades just pull everything so beautifully together. So yeah, it's a lot, but it works. I really love having that green there. And of course, you just can't go wrong with this. And I wanted to show you, I did this in my Midnight Sun video, but I forgot to say that at the end of the looks, I will take the Skin Show shadow from each palette and I will just finish it off on the cheekbones. I think Copper Tone will make a nice, I don't know what brush we can use. Let's see. I could use my Wayne Goss brush, his 02, just lightly tap and just pounce it right on the tops of the cheeks. And you can get away with this as like a blush topper because it has like a slight pink flip to it. It's really pretty, friends. So whether on the lid or on your cheeks, Copper Tone is like a beautiful shade to wear on your face. And then of course I took Wayne's little 03 brush, I believe, yes, and I took Skin Show Glow and just tapped it on the very tops of my cheekbones and wherever else you like to place your favorite powder highlight. It's a great opportunity since it's in this palette. You don't exclusively have to use the Skin Show shades on the eyes. You can very much use them anywhere on the face. And that goes for any of these shades in here, actually. Hopefully this video helped, friends, in giving you some escape for what's happening now. And I know we're at home and we're surrounded by makeup, and maybe this is not going to cheer you up or make everything better, but this is what I can do from where I am, and I'm not going in any particular order in regards to the Mothership tutorials. Whatever day comes and how I feel and whatever palette inspires me, then I'll go in with. Who knows what's next? But happy that I was able to come on here, dive back into Sublime 2. I just really love this palette. This was one of her first, or the first 3 releases when she premiered her Mothership palettes. It's a beautiful curation, and I love especially these like satin finishes here with iconic copper tone and rose dusk. These are very pigmented mattes, but you can definitely go in with a light hand. Again, you could use dark or even extreme black as a wing liner moment. You could just tap it along the outer portions of your lower and upper lash line. And then these shades, I know they're a lot of texture, but just lightly press with your finger in regards to bronze 005. And these shades just add beautiful dazzle. You could layer them on top of any of the shades in here to give that extra disco ball effect. Can't wait to dive into the next one, friends. And until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another tutorial review, Mothership palette video, monthly favorites, get ready with me, or Friday night chit chat. Take care and I'll see you again soon.